Welcome back to the Law Show. I'm attorney Brian Dailey, broadcasting live from high atop the Law Show studios in the Windy City, Chicago. Answering all your legal questions at 855-529-7469. That's 855-LAW-SHOW. You can also get to us by text. Text keyword Law Show to 46786. Like us on Facebook and follow us at The Law Show on Twitter. You can also, if you come to our website, more likely than not, you'll catch us when we're on duty, and we have a live web chat, and we can help you out if you are working with a Droid-based phone. You can get the Law Show app and contact us right from your cell phone when you download that Law Show app. We are available, super available for you at all times to answer all your legal questions. Remember, the Dailey Law Firm with offices in Chicago and Detroit is the home of the free initial consultation, even if that takes several days, hours. And I remember even one time I had a consultation with a young man who had a case that he should have filed sooner, but he waited for a long time, and I spent as much time with him as he wanted to get comfortable doing that. It turned out really, really well. I should have started sooner, but that doesn't matter. A little bit of housekeeping. Every week I remind everybody that if you have the slight inkling that you have a lawsuit, you need to get in touch with a lawyer right away. Preferably you'll find a lawyer like the lawyers of the Dailey Law Firm that don't charge the initial consultation. There are lots of lawyers that want to charge you for sitting down and talking with them. I don't think you should ever do that. I don't think you should have to do that. So find a lawyer, and there's great lawyers in the Chicagoland area who will sit down and talk with you for no charge, like the lawyers of the Dailey Law Firm. I don't think we're the only ones. I just happen to think we're the best ones. But you find your own comfort level. Remember that every week I get calls from people from Chicago and from Illinois in the listening area who tell me that they've got a medical malpractice case where their leg was cut off and it shouldn't have been cut off, and that it happened 2.5 years ago. Unfortunately, that's too late. So you don't want to be too late. Get the information now, and then you can make decisions when you want. There's no pressure ever to proceed to litigation. In fact, we do everything we can to try to find a way to avoid putting you into litigation because it's a very difficult circumstance to be in. Last thing, I want to let everybody know that we are joined by our own family law lawyer from Chicago, Deborah Crane. She is licensed in Illinois and in Michigan, been practicing family law for over 25 years, and she's here to answer all your questions about family law. So today is the day to call about family law and injury because you have the two lawyers from the Dailey Law Firm that do the most of family law in Illinois and also in personal injury. So we're right here. Welcome to the Law Show, Deborah Crane.
Thank you, Brian. Great to be here.
Well, thanks for coming. What's new in the family law area? You got anything to tell us?
I do, Brian. We Illinois Appellate Court just handed down a grandparent visitation case. So I want to highly recommend any grandparents out there just not being able to visit their grandkids, a little bit of problem, get in and see a lawyer. Get in right away so you'll know the do's and don'ts.
So tell us, Deborah, what did that case say so that in case people are out there in the same or similar circumstances, we can find out. Now, was it the Supreme Court or was it the Court of Appeals?
Court of Appeals. But in this case, the grandmother was denied visitation, but it was some of her own doing, I think. But you just have to be real careful in not alienating the mother and the child's relationship. You can't kind of poison the child's mind against her parents and that kind of thing. And that, I think, is what happened in this case. But it's spelled out quite a bit, and too much to go into at the moment. But I think it's very important for grandparents to talk to their lawyer, if they're even considering it.
That's great. Did this case set forth some general parameters upon which to proceed if you're looking for grandparents' rights?
Well, it upheld, of course, the Illinois statute that allows grandparents standing if there's been an unreasonable denial of visitation, and the grandparent has to prove that it's unreasonable. And, normally it is. And then there are a number of factors they look to in order to be able to petition the court for visitation. It's a very good statute, and grandparents do have rights in Illinois. They just need to certainly talk to a lawyer right away.
Very good. Well, we're going to go to the phones. If you have a legal question, you can call us at 855-529-7469. That's 855-LAW-SHOW. If you need to ask a question, you want an answer, but you don't want to go on the air, call us anyway, because we'll be able to answer those questions. Just leave a message, follow the prompts to leave a message. We'll get back with you, usually within a couple of hours, if not right away. And call me. The phone number is call forwarded to my cell phone. 24 hours a day when we're not in the office. When we're in the office, it goes to the office. So we're going to go to the phones right now. We're going to talk to Eva. Eva, you're on the Law Show.
Hello?
Eva. Hello, Eva. Are you on the line?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I have a question in regards to, I've been divorced for a while, and my son is in college, and his father does not contribute to his education. Is there anything I can do at this time?
Go ahead, Deborah.
Yes, Eva, there is. You need to have an attorney look at your dissolution of marriage, your final divorce papers, and see how that was addressed. Typically, college tuition is reserved until he attends college. So you need to get in right away because it's, depending on what your judgment says, it may not be retroactive. So you need to go in right away. And yes, Illinois, does require parents to contribute.
Does that answer your question for you, Eva?
Yes, and where do I start exactly? I don't have an attorney.
Well, you start by calling the Law Show at 855-LAW-SHOW. You've gotten off to a really, really good start there, Eva. And so now what you want to do is you want to make sure, did Dave take your phone number when you called in?
Yes.
All right. So Deborah's going to call you after the show if that's all right with you. Is that all right?
That'd be great.
Very good. So Deborah will be in touch with you after the show. She'll give you some other pointers. But remember, the first start to protecting your legal rights is always calling what, Deborah?
Call your lawyer.
855-LAW-SHOW. That's 855-529-7469. Thanks for calling the Law Show, Eva. We're going to continue answering all your legal questions at 855-LAW-SHOW. That's 855-529-7469. Remember, you can email your questions to questions@lawshow.com, and we'll answer them right here and right now. We're going to talk to Patty now. Patty, you're on the Law Show.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I had a question about the statute of limitations in Illinois for medical malpractice.
Okay.
My husband had a surgery 10 years ago, and we were aware of the problem about a year and a half into it, but we didn't do anything because the doctor is family. And we never imagined that it would grow into the problem that it's become.
Yes.
And now we're just wondering if we have any recourse.
All right, so you got to get me a little bit of detail. What was the problem that was created at the time of the surgery?
I don't know. You probably never heard of this condition, but it's called CRPS. It's a chronic pain syndrome.
And you knew that he had that a year and a half after the surgery?
Yeah. He had immediate symptoms, but we just didn't have a definitive name for it.
Yeah.
Patty, it wasn't confirmed for about a year and a half.
And so what is it doing now? Is it just worse pain?
Well, it traveled. He had ingrown toenails removed, and it's traveled from his two toes up to his knees and in both hands and his forearms.
Yeah. Listen, I'm really sorry to say, but you guys have waited way too long. There is not only a statute of limitations, but there's also what's called a statute of repose, and 10 and a half years is way too long to wait for any of them. This is instructive of a couple of things, though, that's really important for all of our listeners. First of all, you want to do what I'm suggesting, and that is get in right away when you have even the slightest inkling that you've got a legal matter and that you need legal protection. But the other thing is probably more important, and that is to avoid going to family, right? You may have a great family doctor, a member of your family that's a doctor and all that, but it's troublesome to do that. And so I recommend everybody not do business with family unless it's a very, very special relationship. So be really careful about that. Thanks for calling the Law Show, Patty. We appreciate your listening, and we appreciate your call. We're going to talk to Mike now. Mike, you're on the Law Show.
Hi, how you doing today?
Good. What can I do for you?
The thing is, I want to get custody of my younger sibling.
And how old are you?
From my mom.
How old
26.
are you? How old are they?
They're 13, 12, and I got two twins. That's 11.
Hey, Mike, you've got a really, really bad connection here. Are you talking like way close into your phone or something like that?
No.
That's much
Can
better.
you hear me now?
What?
You hear me now?
Yeah, we're going to have to let you go. Why don't you call us back and we'll answer your question in the second half of the hour. Sorry about that, but we got to have a good connection with people that we speak to. If we don't, then we can't really go forward with them. So let's talk to Pam now. Pam, you were talking to the law show. Pam?
I'm legally blind, and I'm about to start training for a CNI dog.
Okay.
The residence that I live in, they told me that I cannot have a dog over 20 pounds. Well, it's obvious the dog is going to be larger than a 20-pound dog.
Right.
Is there anything I can do about this? Because I can't afford to move out from where I live.
There may be. There's something called with the Americans with Disabilities Act, and you may have a case under that, but there may also be some Illinois law that would help you do this as well. They have to make reasonable accommodations for people that are disabled. And although the association is going to tell you that you can't do it, that's what they're always going to tell you. It doesn't mean that they're correct, okay?
Okay.
All right. So if you want more information on this, what I'd suggest is, do you have the ability to email anything?
Yes.
All right. Why don't you email a complete rundown of your contact information and all of your circumstances, and we'll have somebody do some research on it, and we'll get back with you. Okay?
All right. Thank you.
Very good. Thanks for calling the Law Show. We're going to talk to Don now. Don, you're on the Law Show.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for taking the call.
You're welcome. What can I do for you?
I'd like to know about securitization fraud in Illinois. Your experience with it, or what you've heard. I know that there's been cases that have been proven on the East.
Yeah, Don, I want you to hold on because we're going to go to a break. When we come back, we'll be answering all your legal questions at 855-529-7469. That's 855-LAW-SHOW. Stay tuned for your legal questions to be answered.